Hot Breath.
What's the podcast called?
It's called Hot Breath Podcast.
Didn't brush my teeth this morning. Perfect.
I love how you say this morning and it's like 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I know. Well, I woke up at like 2.
Yeah, how late were you out last night?
I was up to like 5.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
I mean, everyone was out to at least like 3:34.
It doesn't make, yeah, that party. All of them really haven't made sense, but like the one last night, it was just.
It was lit. It was pretty lit.
It's just everything, yeah. But first, can you say your full name into the microphone?
My name's Corey Charron.
All right, Corey Charron, thank you for being on Hot Breath, man.
No worries. Thanks for having me on.
This is very exciting for me because we ran into each other in the green room of the roast battle, and we were both just kind of standing there and then started talking, and it turns out that you're like, to use your word, you're like the most lit battle rapper on the planet is what we narrowed it down to. And there's music in the background, if anybody can hear that. So if at any point you feel like breaking out a couple bars, you just let it flow, man.
I mean, gospel music and rap really go together. I think Nas made it work.
But how did you even get linked up, and like how did you end up in pretty much the most sought after green room at the festival?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty crazy story. So I was out in Los Angeles for about 2 weeks. I was doing a movie with Joseph Kahn. He was directing the movie. He's he's directed Taylor Swift, Bad Blood music video, Eminem, Rihanna, Love the Way You Lie music video. So he's very, very well known in the music video scene. He's also directed movies like Torque, and he did Detention with Dane Cook. So he's a fan of battle rap, and he hollered at a few battle rappers to get into a movie he's doing because it has some battle rap themes to it. Mm-hmm. A lot of it is actually based on battle rap. So I just got a message one day. I thought it was a prank call. It's just like, hi, I'm Joseph Kahn's assistant. I want you to submit an audition tape for this movie called Bodied. And I was like, okay, like, sounds good. I didn't even know because I've never been in contact with them. I've never suggested an interest in acting. Mm-hmm. But then a few of my friends got the message too, a battle rapper. So I was like, all right. And basically I submitted an audition tape. They said, yeah, we're going to bring you out to Hollywood. You got the part. You're in a movie. Like, I'm like, who's in it? Like Anthony Michael Hall, Dirt Nasty, Andy Milonakis, bunch of people. I'm like, all right, that's pretty lit. So I go out there and I did the movie. It turned out really well. I very much enjoyed acting, want to get into it. And I was with some friends. I'm like, well, I've never been to LA before. Let's make some moves. What can we do? Mm-hmm. And we were walking by and we saw a billboard for roast battles. And I love roast. I never knew about roast battles, but I love the Comedy Central roast. The Charlie Sheen roast, the Donald Trump, Jeff Ross. Greg Giraldo, rest in peace. Like some legends doing that. And that's essentially what we do as rap battles is we insult people.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh shit, roast battles. What's this? And Googled it, and it was on a Monday. And every Tuesday they do like audition roast battles at the Comedy Store. So I was like, all right, I go there and I meet the host, Brian Moses, Jeff Ross. I'm like, yo, I want to do this. Like, I'll beat anyone. Like, I'm not trying to brag, but I'm just excited to do this. I'm not just an average comedian coming out. I'm not even a comedian. I was really excited. Like, yeah, it's not how it works. There's like a 3-month waiting period. Like, it's very hard to get on. I'm like, I'm from Canada. Like, I'm out here on a business trip. I can't just just come out here every week to audition. And then I'm like, can I rap for you guys? I rap for them. Brian Redband, you know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was rapping for him, and he loved it. And he like kind of was like, yo, Jeff, this guy's pretty funny rapper. And they're like, all right, well, can you make it out here next week? I said, yeah, I'm actually going to be doing a battle in Atlanta next weekend, so I'll just get them to fly me out there. So I go out there, and they put me up against Jamar Neighbors, who's a big house comedian there. Yeah. He just did the Keanu movie, the Key and Peele cat movie. And I'm like, yo, feed me to the wolves, feed me to someone good. And yeah, I did the battle, and they were very, very much impressed. And Jeff Ross loved it, and everyone else judging. And they're like, yo, bring this guy to Montreal. So I live in Ottawa. It's only 2 hours out. I basically just rolled up. I'm not on any guest list. Don't have any pass. They put me on the guest list for the roast battles, which was dope. So I got in, to the green room there. But I want to see the rest of these shows. So I've just been networking, making friends with people, getting to borrow their passes to get in these parties, go to the open bars, network. Made friends with Jay Farrow. He was a fan of battle rap. Jay Farrow from SNL. So he got me. He got me into his show because they're all sold out.
Yeah.
So I got to see that, and then basically I've just been relying on my friends to let me sneak the pass to me so I could get into all these industry parties and network.
Jeez, man. Yeah, that is a crazy story.
Yeah.
I can't help but digress a little bit. You mentioned Atlanta. That's my home turf, man. Is there like a big rap battle scene there or something?
I mean, the rap battle scene is biggest in New York and California when it comes to the States, but Atlanta is probably the third spot. It's kind of on the come up. There's a guy named John the Don. Typical rap name, it's not a comedian. It's a rapper, John the Don, Dadon, not the Don, and he's their top guy out there. So he's building a league and a scene out there. So he had me out there. But like you said, you heard there was a big rap battle festival going on there. That's what it was. So it was decent. Like I'd say about 350 people showed up or so. So it was definitely a good atmosphere. I ended up winning my battle. Then I did this movie and then the roast battle. So it kind of all just correlated together and worked.
So you're going to try to start doing comedy now? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, rap and battle rap is my forte and my main love. So I want to continue doing that. But I'm just the type of person that just wants to do a lot of cool shit before he dies. Like I'm going to be I got approved by Guinness World Records to do the longest freestyle rap. I'm going to try to go for 24 hours in England later this year. I just think it's just cool to do. Like my grandma got me Guinness World Records 2000 back in the day, like the holographic cover.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, shit. Might as well get in Guinness World Records. And then I never thought I'd be good at comedy. And then I did the roast battles and I got such a positive feedback that I was like, you know what, maybe I could try this out. So I'm gonna try to do some stand-up and see how it works. And I've even been told by my friends in stand-up, don't even worry if you bomb a few times, just keep on going and improve, which is a lot different than rap battles and rap. Like if you bomb, it's kind of like, yeah, just give it up. But it looks like stand-up, it's a community of a lot more support. And it's something where you gradually just improve and everyone's just trying to help everyone get to the next level.
Yeah.
That's at least the vibe I got from it.
What other kind of comparisons and like contrasts have you found between like the rap battle scene and like comedy?
The rap battle scene, I find, is a lot more hostile, where everyone's trying to be that dude and they're not really willing to a lot of the times give their peers an opportunity because they want to be known as that guy who got that opportunity. It's also very homophobic. Now, have you ever, I don't know if in the comment, do you know what pause means?
Pause.
So it's like if you said something that could be interpreted as gay, like, oh yeah, like last night me and my friend were going in, and then there'd be a pause, like you were going in, like this, say that, or someone's like, yeah, don't worry about it, suck it up, and they're like, yo, pause, and it's just like, yeah, and it's huge. Like I'll be in conversations with people, and I'm just like, yeah, man, it's gonna be fun tonight. Like, can't wait. We're, all the boys, man, we're gonna kill it. And they're like, yo, pause that. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean the boys? We having fun? And it's like a bunch of like gangsters trying not to be gay. And then I'm out here at the roast battles, and people are putting on leather tights and coming out with their shirts off, and it's a bunch of people trying to be gay. So it's like completely different worlds. I think a lot of the gangster battle rappers are probably closeted homosexuals. They're trying way too hard not to be gay. As opposed to everyone in the comedy world is very comfortable with who they are and aren't afraid to pretend to be gay. So I feel like, I'm on like the straighter end now. I feel like less gay doing comedy.
Wow.
I don't have to be on my guard.
We accept all walks of life here.
Exactly.
And preferences.
So throughout the interview, if we say anything that could be interpreted as gay, we have to pause each other now, since it's a rap battle interview.
Pause. No homo.
No homo. That's what it is. No homo.
Okay, it's no homo. It's like saying dude. That's so weird that's like an actual,
it's huge. Pause. See, it's huge. You have to be on your guard. Like, it's huge. You have to say pause.
I'll definitely Pause. Just even thinking about it, you know, you don't want to give people the wrong signal.
It's horrible.
That would be exhausting. Just all the time. You always got to be listening for something gay.
Yeah,
that's
you have
so
to
weird.
call people out. You can't say anything. Like even my friend, he's like, how was the roast battles? And I was like, oh man, like Jimmy Carr was insane. Like his rebuttals, you don't want to give him, something easy to rebuttal. Like you give Jimmy Carr an inch and he'll take him on. They're like, whoa, pause. What do you mean give Jimmy Carr an inch? I'm like, I hate you guys. I'm going into comedy. I hate battle rap.
Well, we welcome you, man. We welcome
thank you.
What parallels have you seen as far as like performance or wordplay or anything on that end?
I'm a huge fan of all aspects of comedy. I like physical comedy. I do like improvisation as well. I'm a huge fan. Like the best act I've seen this whole festival was Jay Farrow. And he's so funny because he uses his body and his voice as an instrument. Like he was doing all these effects. Like, oh, this is what Justin Bieber's song sounds like, and I can't do it justice, so I'm not going to actually butcher it by doing it. But he was just like beatboxing with his throat, making this Justin Bieber instrument noise, and the whole crowd's going wild. And I feel like that's not even something like I could learn. That's something I feel like impressions are almost born with, or you have to have a talent for that. And then I have there's people like Anthony Jeselnik, who I've never heard really do an impression or physical comedy, but his one-liners and wordplay and non sequiturs are just so insane that I'm a huge fan of that as well. So battle rap is mostly like, it would be like an Anthony Jeselnik style where it's like a one-liner or a misdirection type quote like that.
Gotcha.
So there's definitely a lot of similarities, but battle rap's very aggressive, where a lot of it is you'll talk about killing them and why they're not hood, and like you basically try to say they don't have a G card, they're not really in the street. So it's a lot like that. And you actually get disqualified a lot of the times for being too funny. Like they have not disqualified, but you lose points from like the public eye, where their slogan is bars over jokes. Bars is like a rap lyric and a joke is a joke. So a lot of my battles aren't really that funny because you kind of have to do the rapping element. But like I did tournaments on like BET Freestyle Friday where it was actually just more jokes over bars. Like that was more of like a family environment. It's on TV and it wasn't taken too seriously. So though I was really funny on that, and I ended up winning the whole tournament.
Wow.
In the BET tournament. It was actually the last time they did it was in 2013. They wouldn't let a Canadian on, so I auditioned for 2 years, and then I told my fans to do a Twitter petition to get me on. They gave me an opportunity to do it. I bust out to New York from Canada. I auditioned for it, and my favorite battle rapper who got me into it, Jin. I don't know if you heard it. He was the Asian guy who did it back in the day, like 2000. He was judging the auditions, and he said, "This guy Charron's gonna win. He's really good." I ended up winning the whole thing, and the main prize was being on the BET Cypher. So it's basically like, I'm trying to find an example for comedy, but it's basically like getting to perform at the finale of the roast battles with like a few people.
Wow.
Like
okay.
picture like getting to open up for Bill Burr here or something. You know, you're with a lot of the big names like Kendrick Lamar, Drake.
Jeez, man.
And then they didn't put me on that year, and that was
after winning.
Yeah, and it was in the contract.
What?
And then I uploaded a diss track saying like, you guys didn't let me on because I'm a Canadian. Basically, was like the thesis of it. And then the next year they actually let me on, but it made like the news in Canada, like it was all over the papers. So that kind of like helped jumpstart me into the public eye.
As the white boy too, I guess.
The white Canadian.
Yeah, the white Canadian.
I need both of them.
I'm sure you get a lot of like Eminem like comparisons or whatever.
Yeah, Slim Shady for sure. Recently there's been this guy that went viral named Slim Jesus. I don't know if you saw that. It's basically this white guy who like is with a bunch of black guys behind him holding guns. So I prefer the Slim Shady comparisons over the Slim Jesus, but I'll take what I could get. Pause.
Well, he was what Mr. Mathers was known for. I mean, he was a great battle rapper, but his writing is like, it's dope as well. Like, are you primarily just battle rap, or do you also like write raps and stuff as well?
Yeah, I write raps as well. I'm one of the go-to guys in Canada. Like anytime Wu-Tang comes to Canada, I tour with them. Like I did a 30-day tour with Wu-Tang. So that was real crazy being with Method Man, Ghostface Killah, Raekwon. So yeah, basically like I do music. I just feel like I'm better at battle rap than music. It's like Jeff Ross is more known for his roasting than his stand-up, I believe. Like, I believe in that sense.
Definitely, yeah.
So he's kind of going the roast element, where some people may look at roasting as like corny in the comedy world. I'm not sure. I read something online that it's not. It's kind of deemed like low-grade humor in comedy.
Roasting?
That's what I read in an article. I don't know if it's true.
No, I mean, not that I've heard. I mean, there's a different, like the roast battle. This is like the art of roasting. You know,
Right.
These are crafted jokes, but I think more like, yo mama jokes and
Yeah.
that stuff's whack.
Yeah, like the Fez show, Yo Mama was.
It's a little whack because it's just making fun of just like whatever you see. Oh, your shirt's
Yeah.
stupid because you are. Pause. I don't know, but like I think like especially what roast battle is doing. I mean, they're putting the craft on like a whole other level, but being able to not just Joan and just the way they call them the dozens and all
Right.
that's kind of more old school, and I think that does get kind of a bad rap and can be a little stereotyped. But I think the roasting that you're seeing, especially here, and like you're seeing on the Comedy Central roasts, I mean, that's very prestigious, at least in the comedy world.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know because it's my favorite part of comedy. So I
It's-
love the roast battles. I just love competition. You see two men or a female or two females enter a ring. One's victorious, one loses, and there's a lot to lose on the line. Like Ralphie May. He's a huge comedian, Jimmy Carr, and I meant huge in weight, not by no, I'm kidding. No, he's a big name.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carr is a huge name,
Yeah.
and they both ended up losing to. I'm not going to insult them, but relatively unknown people in the
Yeah,
comedy world.
absolutely,
I think
yeah.
they're very talented, but the mainstream audience isn't aware of those names. So
Yeah.
you're having a top of the line comedian lose to an up and comer, and that's a crazy risk for them to take. And I applaud everyone involved in that.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so unique too. Is like just people who are famous, like you're saying, they get knocked down a peg, which is cool. And people who don't have that exposure, they're getting the exposure from this battle.
Right.
So is that kind of the format? Like you kind of mentioned, okay, like there's a joke, and like in comedy we have. There's kind of a formula. There's kind of a science to joke writing and stuff. You have setups, punchlines, callbacks, tags. Is there similar kind of structure to like battle rapping? Like, are there kind of templates you can implement?
Yeah, there's a lot of different techniques. Like the comedy audience isn't probably going to think this is too impressive, but there's basically like running gags and themes that go on in battle rap. Like one is I'll put this guy in a box. A box is a casket, and then they do a wordplay about it for like different type of boxes. So one guy's name was QP, and one of the top guys, Solcon, said I'll put QP in a box. 12 points in Scrabble or whatever the point value was, and there's certain like put them in a box lines that are good. I'm not like a lot of them aren't funny. It's just like decent wordplay, and then there's personals. So basically, like anything that's ever happened to you. One of my favorite battles was Caustic versus Jefferson Price, and it was a known fact in the inside world, like the battle rap world, that Jefferson Price cheated on his fiance with a battle rap groupie, and Caustic brought that out in the third round, dropped the names of who it was, and Jefferson Price hasn't been seen since. Like he dropped out of the world. So it's like, I think it actually ruined their marriage. I don't think they're together anymore.
Wow.
My first battle, actually, because the main, like the UFC, let's say per se of it, is like King of the Dot. It's a league in Canada.
Okay.
And I wanted to audition for it. I was still in high school, and I couldn't get into the venues because I was 17. So, and I'm like, can you throw an outdoor event for me? And the guy's like, what do you mean an outdoor? I'm like, can you throw an outdoor event? And he's like, well, we could do like a tryout event outdoor. We've done that before because I've seen them have outdoor events. I'm like, can I try out? And he's like, yeah, just get some footage. I was like, okay. So I was setting up battles locally, like in Ottawa. I beat a bunch of people, and then there was one battle. Like I'm from a Catholic school called St. Pete's, and there's another Catholic school called St. Matt's, and we're huge rivals in football and soccer, hockey. It's like those two schools is like kind of beef when they see each other. And I was the best rapper from my high school, and there's a kid named Jordan Bennett who was the best from St. Matt's. We never met each other, but all my friends would be like, Charron will fuck up Bennett, and like, no, Bennett will fuck up Charron.
Man.
So we met up at a shoe store. We charged $2 admission for everyone that got in. The shoe store kept half of it. We kept the other 25% each. I don't know. I don't even remember even getting it. But we brought in like 150, 200 people. And I was killing them, and they kept going for another round because I brought in like 50 people, and he brought in like, over 150, maybe 200 people. So they were like really cheering loud for him when he was like not that good, and I was like killing him. And a few weeks before that, him and his friends were in a car crash where one of their friends died. And so I said, like, you know what rhymes with St. Matthew's High? Everyone in your school wishes you were the one in the car crash that died.
Oh,
and like,
my God.
It went like extremely viral, like millions of views on World Star. Like Chris Brown posted it, Bam Margera posted it. Like it's all over the internet. And basically, like the guy who died's sister was in the crowd, and she started crying, and like everyone was like trying to beat me up, and I had to like, when Homer Simpson says something awkward and like slowly walks into the bushes.
Yeah.
It was basically like that. I'm like, people are trying to grab me on stage. I'm hiding behind like all my big friends. Cops get called because there's bottles being smashed over people.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, someone pulled out a gun. You could see that on camera. And I don't live in a tough neighborhood.
I was about to say this.
But there's the guy who did it. I'm not going to, snitch out where he's from, but he was from the States somewhere, and he got kicked out of town. His mom shipped him out here. I'm not going to give any more information, try to snitch on the man.
Yeah.
But he had a gun on him, and he was like my homie, so he pulled out a gun. Someone got bottled, like a Bacardi bottle, or probably Smirnoff Ice. We were 17. Smashed over someone's head. The cops come. The store gets hit with a ticket so large that they got out of business for having kids underage drinking in their store.
Oh,
so
dude.
I felt bad. The dude's store got shut down.
Off that one line that incited a riot.
Well, yeah, because of the riot. And then I sent that to Organic. I'm like, is this good enough footage? And it's like viral. He's like, yeah, we'll throw an event for you. So I went out there, killed the guy. We put up $100. There was no money back then, and then we put up our own money, $100. I won it. I used the $100. It was like $70. I got a fake ID. I went into some like random shop in a basement, and they took a picture of me and put it on like a British Columbia ID, and like asked me like, what do you want your birthday to be? I was like, I don't know, like my normal birthday, June 29th, just make it like, like 1988 or something. So I was like 24, 25 or whatever they made me. And yeah, it worked. It was so sick. They put a barcode on it where it actually like at the liquor stores, when they scanned it, it was good.
Oh,
it
wow.
worked. It was like a top of the line fake ID. It was like the McLovin of real life IDs. So I used that to get into all the clubs for the next 2 years to enter competitions and battle and all that.
Is that why you got the ID, like not to drink, but to actually just get into these battles?
To get into these battles, to get into the clubs. And like, my mom and dad, they like didn't really support it at first. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Toronto, so it's a 5-hour bus ride. Like, I'm busing 5 hours. I'm meeting with this guy named Organic in an alley, and we're going to film a rap battle. They're like, I don't think this sounds safe, Corey. Like, you're meeting with a guy on... This is when like Facebook kind of was just... popping off. So like, what, you've met him on the internet and he's gonna have a camera and you're gonna rap for him in an alley? I'm like, yeah. They're like, okay. I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
So, but then they started seeing like a bit of money come in and getting flown out to different countries, and they're like, all right, yeah, we're fine with you making fun of people in car crashes.
What is their background like? Yeah.
My dad works. He's high up in the government. And my mom was in the government as well, but she became a stay-at-home mom because I'm the oldest of 5 kids. So she had 5 kids in 7 years, and my dad was able, to support us with his salary. So she kind of just was a nurturing mother.
Is your dad like a secret agent? He's just high up in the government? Is that all you know?
I mean, if he was a secret agent, I wouldn't even be able to disclose that information,
that
right?
Is it. It's especially here in Canada. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm trying to get us got right now.
Yeah.
I just want to know kind of the context of how you even become a battle rapper, because comedians, there's always like an origin story of like, oh, something tragic happened or whatever. Is that kind of the same trope in like battle rappers?
Yeah, I mean, for myself, I saw 8 Mile when I was in like grade 5 or I think grade 5. I just moved from Ottawa to Winnipeg. Which is no one knows where like things are in Canada from America, but it's like a 3-day drive, so it's pretty far. And I didn't really have any friends. I was grade 4 or 5, so I was like 10 or 11, and I saw 8 Mile and I really liked it, and I started like trying to learn how to rap, kind of like to make friends. And then I would like do raps for my classmates and entertain them, and they liked it. And I felt it kind of like gave me an opportunity to like have something to offer to people that didn't know, like, oh, I could rap and all that, and like make friends easier. So I kind of got into it as like an escape from not really having any friends, at being the new kid at his school. And then I just really became obsessed with it, and took it from there.
Has Canada always been ingrained into like American rap? Because that's something I noticed being up here. Is like, I mean, it's all the same music that's playing down in Atlanta, really.
Yeah, we have Drake. You know, that's
that's true. Actually, we got Drake from you guys.
Yeah, you guys
we imported Drake. Yeah, I forgot about that.
You guys had Drake. Shout out to Drake, by the way. He actually sponsored one of my battles last year. He put up he sponsored the whole event, got all the battle rappers paid.
Wow.
More than we ever have. Got it, tweeted it. He actually skipped. I was the main event, and he skipped the Grammys to watch the battle live.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it was in the newspaper in Canada. Like, it was a huge deal. So I'm forever grateful to Drake, and he's an amazing artist too. So shout out to Drake. But yeah, we have a lot of American. We have another guy, Tory Lanez, if you've heard of him. He's kind of on the come up too. He's doing really well. But yeah, we don't really have too many well-known Canadian rappers besides Drake.
You guys listen to just a lot of American.
Yeah,
I guess that's where it is. Yeah.
We listen to that Panda song.
Panda. Oh, I love how you went from Future to Panda.
Yeah,
like,
well,
and
it's
the
the
other
same
guy.
thing.
Yeah.
Designer, the fake Future.
Yeah.
He's better at being Future than Future. His Future impression got him higher than Future's ever been. So,
are there any other like big homies who kind of? Because it seems like, I mean, with comedy, making money is a straight grind until you just pretty much hit another level. I'm imagining rap battling may be even more difficult to make money.
To be honest, I guess like I didn't make any money from battle rap until like about a year and a half, 2 years in, where I won a tournament for $1,000, and then I won a reality show shortly after for $5,000, and then now it comes to the point where, I mean, like for a battle, the top battle rappers we're getting anywhere from like $5,000 to $40,000, like $5,000 to $40,000 a performance. And we do like multiple a year. So a lot of us are making like actually pretty good living off battle rap. But the comedy world, there's a million comedians, and in the battle rap world, there's literally like of the top like echelon, there's like 30 of us maybe.
Oh, okay.
So in a sense, like it's hard to be one of those guys, but once you're there, like the money's actually pretty good. But there's a certain cap. Like I'm sure Bill Burr could get whatever, 500,000 to 3 million a show. I'm just estimating where we can't really get past like 40,000.
And like, are there actual shows though? Like, can you tour around, or is it all competition?
That's the thing. Your material is only for a one-time use, so we can't really tour. It's just a one-off show. Like it's like a UFC. It's just like they set up 2 people, you do the battle, and that's it. And you can't ever use those lines again. Well, you can, but people will say like you're reusing lines, and you'll lose points for it.
So you got to be very prolific.
Yeah, you really have to. You have to just be constantly making up new material, and then you also can't really say anything that's been said to this person before, and they've been doing this for like 5 to 10 years as well. And it's like eventually I'm like, what else is there left to say to this guy?
Well, what is your writing process?
My writing process is I basically walk around pacing, thinking of lines in my head, and jot them down on my cell phone. So I kind of look schizophrenic while I do it. I go on a lot of walks. Like I wake up very early. I go on walks. I like the sunshine. It helps me think. And I just think of all these ideas and rhyme schemes and put them down. And then I formulate them into rounds. Like we have 3 rounds. So round 1, round 2, round 3. And then there's a memorization process, which I hate. Kind of sucks to memorize it. You cram it all, then as soon as you're done, it's like you never use these again.
You just got to purge it, kind of.
Yeah. So I heard Anthony Jeselnik say, like, so he was after he did a roast, and they're like, "What was the best joke you said?" He's like, "I can't remember." It was like 2 days after. He's like, "I just crammed so much that they're wiped out from my brain. I'm never gonna use them again."
Yeah.
And he like couldn't think of what he said, and it's true. People are like, "What was your best line you said in this battle?" I'm like, I can't really remember what I said. Like,
So will you actually, when you're writing and you're walking around, are you saying this stuff out loud, or is this all just going a motor in your
I'm
head?
saying it out loud
Uh-huh.
and in my head too. So I do a bit of that, and then I know I freestyle every day, put on beats, just exercise. You know, your brain is a muscle. So
Yeah. What are some things you do to keep your brain sharp?
I put on random word generators, and random words pop up, and I rap about them. And whenever I'm with friends, I ask them to give me topics. I rap about it, and yeah, just a lot of stuff like that. That's why when I did my roast battle against Jamar, pretty much every line I said was a rebuttal. But I mean, I've been doing this format of battling with rhyming for 7 years now, and I'm known in the battle rap world for having the top rebuttals. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, you did so well for your first time." I'm like, technically it was my first time in front of a comedy crowd, but I've actually been doing a very similar art for 7 years.
Well, a big thing in comedy is bombing. That's certainly that happens.
I've bombed in rap battles too, yeah.
Please tell us one of your epic bombs in rap battling.
I've never actually choked. So there's actually a prolific thing of battle rappers just drawing a blank and standing there.
Wow.
But I remember my first loss where I was 17 or 18. I was against a guy that was a wigger per se, a white guy trying to be a black guy. And I killed him the first 2 rounds. And then my third round, basically, like, it was in a tournament, and his whole third round was how, like, the guy he beat said that I slept over at, like, this guy's house and the guy raped me or whatever. Like, it was just obvious, just a joke.
Pause.
Yeah, pause, right. I got to give him props. He's already catching on.
Just dapped it.
Yeah, just dapped it up. That's something you don't get on the audio. And then, so, yeah, I did a whole thing about how I stayed at his house and, like, how much of, like, a wigger he was and, like, all the, like, black stuff he had at his house and the Scarface posters, everything. And it just, like, I like, basically the crowd was a very, like, black crowd, and they weren't really, like, laughing at the term that I was saying wigger. They kind of, like, crossing their arms.
Oh, okay.
And then I was, like, saying, like, making fun of, like, the black culture, and they're, like, kind of like, that's our culture, like, and it just kind of got, and it was jokes too. It wasn't, like, actual rapping. So it was basically like a minute of just crickets and me saying, like, you think you're black, and everyone's, like, crossing their arms. And basically, like, 20 seconds in, I realized it wasn't working, but that was, like, all I had pretty much in my head. And I was like, I didn't want to go and improvise something where I'm already halfway through it. And I was basically like, I want this to end. Like, this isn't fun.
Did they boo or anything?
No, I didn't get booed, but
Okay.
I definitely got crickets, and I cannot watch the footage.
Have you ever been booed?
No, I've never been booed.
Never been booed? You've
No.
been slapped, though.
Yes, and you did your research. I did get slapped. Basically, I was battling a guy named K-Shine, and he's known for bringing out props to battle. Like, he's dressed up as, like,
wow.
an Xbox. He's brought out tons of things. He dressed up as a science professor and brought out a whiteboard, like, a lot of things. So I was like, all right, I'm going to dress up as, like I said earlier, Slim Jesus, the white guy who has guns in his music videos. And we put on the Slim Jesus beat, and I had a cap gun because, you know, he had cap gun, and I'm waving the cap gun in his face rapping, and he slaps the cap gun out of my hand. I was kind of pissed, so I slapped the hat off his head, which, you know, I was pretty much by myself in Atlanta. Even though I'm not a big guy, I'm taller than him. I'm just not really a fighter.
Yeah.
So then he slapped the dog shit out of me. I got hit with the slap. And yeah, it was filmed and put on YouTube like within like 20 minutes, and it had like 200,000 views already.
Jeez.
It's on World Star. I have texts from my mom like, "Oh my God, Corey, I just saw you got assaulted." Like, and then like I was supposed to catch a flight at like 5. This was at like midnight. I was supposed to catch a flight at 5 a.m. and like go back home. And I just like didn't want to go back to like my family. Right, I'd be home probably around like 2 p.m. I just didn't want to like see my family after getting like beat up, on camera. And like all my friends are like texting me like, "Bruh, I just saw you get slapped. That's not a good look. Bad for your image."
Dang.
Like rap's kind of like it's all about being tough type thing. Even though I don't pretend to be tough. And like my grandma sent me a message like, "You have up to 2 years to press charges." I'm like, "Grandma, I'm not pressing. The last thing I need to do is like sue someone for slapping me. It's not like there's any bruising or anything. It was a hard slap, but and yeah, so I was like, fuck this, and I called the airlines. I'm trying to switch my flight. I basically just told them like I had an allergic reaction to peanut butter and I can't make my flight. I think it was just such an obscure like excuse that they were like, all right. So I just extended the flight for an extra day, stayed out there, like cleared my head. I was pretty pissed off. Then like made back and made like the PR move on Facebook, like the funny way to like play it off as a joke and everything. Like the league that guy's from is called Smack. Like it's called Smack.
Okay.
It's called Don't Flop. So I was just like, shout out to Smack for sponsoring the third round. Like I kind of just played it off as like I didn't really care that much, but I'm like, fuck, I can't have like this slap thing like being brought up everybody. Yeah. So it turned out pretty cool. And then Ridiculousness hit me up and wanted to use that clip for their show. I was like, all right, you could use it. But then the guy who slapped me wouldn't sign off on the waiver form.
Okay.
But I didn't really care. They're only offering like $100 anyway, so I didn't really care. But yeah.
Did you win?
The battle? Well, it was a no contest.
So it was just, you're just kind of doing it.
I was winning though.
Yeah, okay. You had him on the ropes.
Battle rap is filled with such divas that there's actually no winners or losers anymore. It's all a promotional battle.
Oh, okay.
And like the YouTube comments are like, I think he won. And they're like, no, he won this battle. But there's very rarely winners and losers because it's also very subjective too.
Yeah.
So they kind of just let YouTube decide who won. You just post in the comments who you think won, and where you just do it is like a promotional battle. Well,
I've noticed I've done some roasting, like not on like a roast battle level, but just like joning and stuff. And like if people, I'm sure that's similar with rap battle, but like if they hit you with something hard, like you feel like you got slapped. Like your brain, it's a weird situation. I didn't know was happening until like it happens to you, and you're like, oh, you can get like almost physically knocked out. You literally like become paralyzed almost.
Yeah, like short circuits your brain. There's an audience like laughing at you. You're looking, everyone's like pointing a finger at you, and you're like, wow, like I'm being publicly humiliated. And then you're trying to think of something witty. Like in a conversation like this, you could say something funny to me and there's no pressure, and we could do quick retorts as you can too. But on stage, they hit you with that. Everyone's laughing. It's almost like you're drawing like a blank pretty much. Man. I'm like, fuck, like how do I come back from that? And you have like 3 seconds to think of something. So yeah, it's cool. It's hard. I love it. Like I'm obsessed with these roast battles. I'm a huge fan, and I'm very happy that I'm at least emerging into the scene, and at least my talent's recognized by Jeff Ross and a lot of those guys. So I want to be. I hope this gets renewed for another season, and I want to be in the tournament next year.
Well, you're getting recognition Comedy Central, but also hopefully Guinness. I mean, you mentioned earlier this world record. How could you even just break down? You mentioned just in glancing, I'm just going to rap for 24 hours. What are like the specifics of that?
Well, there's a lot of specifics. So every 4 hours, you need a mandatory 20. It's 15 or 20 minute. I'll have to check the email, but let's say 20-minute break, and that's for any record in Guinness, just because so they're not liable if there's a death. I mean, I don't know how it works about like longest with going without eating or something like that. I assume like there wouldn't be a break.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because like rappers are divas and we like have that.
It's in your rider, your contract. We need a break. We need a smoke break.
And it counts towards our time too. So I'm like, I might as well take it. Like it counts towards our time. And every previous record holder has done it. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'll take that. And I'm basically just going to do that to drink. You can't drink too much water because then you'll have to piss right away. So it's like you got to refresh, but you can't just chug 2 water bottles. Maybe, have half water bottle. So I'm not really sure. I'm practicing right now with a lot. I'm not going to be using any drugs. I'm not going to be using coke. I don't even smoke weed. I don't use coke. But a lot of people are like, you should be on coke the whole time. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do coke. I am prescribed Adderall for ADHD. I have tried using Adderall wrapping, but it makes my mouth too dry when I do it for too long.
Gotcha.
So I realized I can't do Adderall. So what I've been experimenting with, and obviously is legal, is the Alpha Brain pills from Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I've heard about those.
Yeah,
they actually work.
Yeah, I use those when I'm doing, like, it kind of takes like a few weeks to get into your bloodstream, I guess, like for your body to to take notice to it. But I did that when I did a competition for BT. Like, it was a 7-week competition going up from Ottawa to New York, and I'd be working full time. And then every Thursday, I would Greyhound up to New York from so midnight to 8 a.m. is when I get to New York. Roam around New York for like 4 hours until noon. Do my battle. Greyhound all the way. I had to wait till 8 p.m. till my Greyhound back to Canada. Get back at like 4 or 5 a.m. and then go to work for 7 a.m. the next day.
Jeez, man.
And while working full time, so I was like very sleep deprived. So I was taking alpha brain pills, and it kind of just helped me feel refreshed on little sleep. And just a little more clarity. It's just basically a bunch of like vitamins stacked together, but like on top of the line. So yeah, I'm gonna be on like a heavy dose. I'm gonna probably take like 4 nootropic like alpha brain pills every 4-hour break. And yeah, I think that's probably it. Like, no caffeine, no coffee. I don't want to crash or anything.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things, and also like, I have to make sure I can't lose my voice, so I don't even want to be talking even at this. This would be as loud as I'd go, so the beat's going to be very low. It's just going to be, it's not going to be that good of a rap. It's just going to be very mellow. I'm going to be sitting, everyone just does it sitting on a couch. You know, you just chill out, relax, vibe, and it's just a mental endurance thing. You were saying, sorry, you weren't, but someone told me a comedian went 24 hours doing jokes for Guinness.
I don't know. The longest I had heard was maybe like 6 hours, and I think that was Dan Cook or Dave Chappelle. But somebody may have gone 24 hours.
I heard it was a Canadian who did it, but what he did is he had people coming in the audience. They were writing one-liner jokes, and he was like a Twitter feed basically and was doing that.
Okay.
So I guess it's still like hard to stand on stage and like tell jokes for 24 hours.
Do anything for 24 hours. Stay awake for 24 hours.
Yeah, stay awake for 24 hours is hard. like I feel like a piece of shit after 24 hours of no sleep.
Does this stuff have to rhyme, or can you just like
It
meander?
has to rhyme. It has to
Okay.
rhyme. If you don't tell a rhyme within 15 or 20 seconds, one of those two, you're disqualified. But I could choke for, let's say, 10 seconds and then go, yo, I'm back with the flow, here we go. And then it's good.
Boom, right back.
And it doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to phonetically rhyme.
Dude, that's bold, man. That's
I'm gonna try.
super
you know what?
impressive, man.
Thanks. And you know what? I'm gonna be trying to raise money for a charity doing it too.
Wow. Okay.
We're thinking because they're flying me, a promotional company, Don't Flop's flying me out to England to do it. So we're thinking of doing like a children's hospital out there in the UK.
Okay.
So I mean, even if I don't accomplish it, if I could raise money and awareness to a good cause, I'll feel like I did well. But I'm just so obsessed with achieving the goals I have in mind. Like I feel like the only way I would be able to do it is if my voice gave out. If my voice gave out and it was just like sounding like puberty all over again, and I couldn't physically belt out the words, I feel like that could happen. But I really don't feel like I'm gonna give up mentally.
Well, I wish you the best of luck in that, man.
Thank you.
I look forward to hearing about it. When is it going down again?
End of November, early
Okay.
December. They just have to get like the venue and all that booked out.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. This has been a nice mental exercise, I gotta say. Before we get out of here, is there anything else you want the world to know?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well check my stuff out online. I do have, I would say first probably check out my roast battle if you're, a fan of the comedy world, which I assume you are if you listen to this podcast here. So my name is Charron, Charron, and it's against Jamar Neighbors. So if you just put Charron versus Jamar Neighbors, that'll pop up. And then I have a bunch of songs and rap battles. Some are funny, some are more aggressive and rappy. But if you're a fan of rap music too, and I really feel like it would be a good combination of two that you would enjoy. There are elements of humor and good rap in there. And yeah, I just want to say, shout out to Joel Byer for having me on.
Boom.
Pause. Having me on what? What did he have me on? What did he have me on?
Dang it, I missed it.
And I was testing him there. He didn't
the
get
rap
it.
battler. Oh, you beat me on that one. I'm sorry.
And yeah, shout out to Brian Moses for getting me, backstage and everything at the festival and taking notice of me. Shout out to Jay Farrell for holding me down out here. And shout out to Tony Hinchcliffe and Jeff Ross, two of my favorite comedians and roasters who, now know me by name, and when they see me, they say, hey, what's up, and talk to me, which doesn't sound like much to maybe the average person, but picture like one of your favorite sports, you if it's basketball, and then you're trying out, you're in a college team, and LeBron sees you play and just gives you props and says you're dope and talks to you like that. That's kind of how it feels for me, and it's really cool. Like I love Tony Hinchcliffe and Jeff Ross, so two of my biggest influences, even like in the battle world, like their one-liners and jokes I love using. So it's pretty surreal experience, and hopefully next year I could be on that roast card.
I hope so, man. I think this is just the beginning of something. You may be bridging a gap or something. Maybe. I don't know, man, but just the progress you've made in like just this little bit of time, and like people listening, just know like you're not some open mic rap battler who was just stumbled upon this opportunity. You're what'd you say, the top 1%? Like you're one of the guys.
Like in the top 10. In the top 10.
You're in the squad. So like all you gotta do is look this guy up on YouTube. He has so many great videos. One, Nick Cannon, the Nick Cannon $100,000 rap challenge. I mean,
the car crash one. Everyone will love that. That's funny. You just search. I think it's called. What is it called? Just search Charron car crash, and it will pop up. It's like. It's funny. It's so cringe, but it's hilarious.
Well, thank you so much for being on Hot Breath, Charron.
Sharon. It doesn't matter. You can call me Corey.
Sharon in Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal. Oh, yeah.
Montreal.
All Americans. It's not y'all say Montreal. It's actually Montreal. So that's why I'm going to say Montana. I'm not going to call it when I'm in Montana. I'm going to say Montana just to piss you off.
And you said y'all. I like how you said a southern word. Y'all. Montana.
Well, that's a rap term too, y'all.
Oh, y'all.
What's up, y'all?
Okay. Well, do you? Thank you so much for being on here, man.
Yeah, thank you, Joel. Thanks for having me on.
If you do you feel like lacing the mic at all? Do you keep stuff in the chamber, or you just want to?
I mean, you got to keep things in the chamber. So, give me maybe 3 topics, and I'll do a little rap about it.
All right. How about love, drugs, and war?
Love, drugs, and war. See, I'm doing a freestyle right now, and it's not even under contract. It's 2 guys, and you're talking about love. I have to pause that. So it's got to be real crazy shit, because this is straight up in Spark. When it comes to battling people, I'm razor sharp. It's not Valentine's Day with Cupid. I'm going to break your heart. So people want to see this, and now I'm giving them quotes. I need to talk about drugs because you already know that I'm dope. I'm the dude coming back right now, and I punch rhymers. I don't do coke, but you see my battles. I'm all about them one-liners. I just find there's right now when I gotta just score. Any MC that wants to beat me, they know that I'm raw, like the opposite of war. See, that's war backwards. I'm just doing a one-on-one, but I could kill 4 backwards. My flowing is on. I don't like Kim Jong-il, and I don't know if Saddam in comedy. I wouldn't be good at war because I don't know how to bomb.
And then we need the DJ.
Body man.
Drop the mic, man. Thank you so much, dude. That was
Hot
awesome.
breath.
Thanks, man.
For sure.
Hot breath.